Good morning, everyone. Today, the Group Dinagulan will have a debate regarding the implementation of IPT, wherein this House approves the continuity of the IPT implementation, consisting of Ashley Fason, Azalea Tupaen, and Annieska Salas. On the other hand, we have the House who disapproves the continuity of the IPT implementation, consisting of Monique Disamburum, Arianne Tupaen, and Amba.
Hello, I am Ashley, the Prime Minister of the government side, and we totally agree with the continuity of the IPT implementation. And I will be presenting some reasoning regarding this topic. We highly agree with the continuity of the IPT or the Integrative Performance Task implementation since it is created to lessen students' works and it gives the student time to interact more with their classmates, especially with this new mode of learning that we are here stuck inside our home. And with the continuity of the IPT implementation, we would be able to test our social skills and be more confident with socializing with others. IPT could be a team building activity and it can make study more efficient and fun. Working with others enables you to pool your ideas and see problems from different perspectives. In a group situation, you can attempt tasks that could not be accomplished merely by an individual, combining a variety of skills and expertise to tackle more complex and larger problems. If you are working to a limited time frame, then IPT allows analysis to a greater depth than if you were working individually. Furthermore, group work gives you the chance to learn from each other. There are many benefits from analyzing, discussing, and exploring your own ideas and questions, and gaining feedback from your peers. Again, this is Ashley, Prime Minister of the government side, and we strongly agree with the continuity of the IPT implementation.
The time consumed is 1 minute and 44 seconds.
Hello, I am Monique Disamburum from the opposition side, and I must say that we highly disagree on the continuity of the IPT implementation. So they say that the main objective of this IPT is to make students' life easier. Do you think combining 8 subjects can make our lives easier? It is very hard to connect one different subject to another one. And instead of easing the students' work, they became more challenged and stressed with the tasks as they are hard to do. You will say that it will be easier because it is by group, but not all the students have the brain to think how they can put together the 8 subjects into one video or into one output. Even if there's some students that knows how to put together those subjects, it will be hard to explain to other group mates and we are not sure that they will understand what you're trying to say. And some teachers also gives a different worksheet that is not needed since IPT is already created. So how can you say that this IPT makes a student's lives easier? Again, this is Monique Disamburum, the Prime Minister from the opposition side, and I therefore conclude that we totally disagree on the continuity of the IPT implementation.
The time consumed is 1 minute and 18 seconds.
I am Azalea Tupaen and I am the Deputy Prime Minister of the government side. I would like to say something about the opposition's opening. You said that it is hard to connect the subjects, but uh, I agree. But this situation would really make the students enforce themselves to understand each subjects to make it work. Then I will continue to present my arguments. First is it develops leadership. Um, Being in a small group with a hard task to do, it would be a good opportunity for aspiring leaders to develop their leadership. Uh, it also um, it also makes the aspiring leaders to practice their future leadership in a bigger picture. Also, it will show teachers each other's talents, especially that we are in an online class and the students and the teachers haven't really met each other. It um, Using this IPT as a performance would really show the teachers each's talents, and it is a good opportunity to showcase the students' talents and what they're good at. Some students are good at editing, some students are good at performing, some students are good at talking, and the teachers will definitely see that through the IPTs that will be passed. So this is Azalea Tupaen, and we strongly agree for the continuity of the IPT implementation. Thank you.
The time consumed is 2 minutes and 11 seconds.
I'm Arianne Tupaen, the Deputy Prime Minister of the opposition side. I disagree with the implementation of IPT because I think that instead of easing the students, it increases the burden. Although a few, there are teachers who give their own separate performance tasks, even when the IPT was implemented last quarter. You could be right about the idea that it does hone their leadership skills to be able to adapt to different situations regarding their group. But let us not forget that they are also people who can experience emotional stress, especially when their members are uncooperative and unresponsive when messaged privately regarding their given task. IPT is a team building activity, and the purpose of team building activities is to motivate your people to work together, to develop their strengths, and to address any weaknesses. But can you really do that if some members are just giving the minimal effort to complete the task, not even daring to share their own thoughts and opinion on how to complete the task better and faster because they think that it's too much work or they think that their leader has already something in mind? I don't think that IPT really reached the purpose of team building activities if they have those groups with that kind of progress. In conclusion, I hold the opinion that the implementation of IPT had caused more stress and worry to the students than eased their burden.
The time consumed is 1 minute and 28 seconds.
Okay. That's a nice point, Ariane and Monique, but I'm afraid I will still agree with Ashley and Azalea. The Integrative Performance Task, or the IPT, will give the students a chance to communicate and at the same time comply with their performance task. It's like killing two birds with one stone. Working with a group gives you a lot of opinions, perspectives, as everyone can share their thoughts. You get a variety of perspectives and opinions. There's a saying that goes, the more the merrier. Students can learn new things such as negotiating and compromising because you are no longer working alone and you have to consider what others would think. And as we all know, not every group is perfect, and that will enhance the negotiating and compromising skills. You also said that not every IPT is grouped. Then that's good if you prefer individual activities and you are more comfortable in that. The IPT's goal is to make the students feel at ease. We have been students for a long time and we have encountered a lot of hardships and performance tasks. You pointed a while ago the inconsistency of the students' participation. If a student or group member is not participating or is too heavy and is such a burden to the group to the point that they are pulling the group down, then approach them, fix it, and find a way. Or if they really won't budge, then don't put their name on the final project. If you really want to do something, you can always find a way to do it. This will improve communication and leadership skills of the students. The teachers can monitor and watch the students on how they interact with each other. It will be easier for the teachers because they will only check one performance task per 2 weeks, and that's a group activity, so it will lessen the work. I absolutely agree with the saying, if there's a will, then there's a way. And that's why you are grouped. You should help each other. You can distribute and disperse the work to lessen the burden. In a group, we have different talents or fortes, and that's how we can make or finish a good final outcome, a great performance task. And in individual IPTs, that's great because it will measure the students' learnings individually. So I agree that the IPT is a very useful method of learning and developing new products, and it will ease the students. I'm Annieska Salas, the whip of the government side, and we agree with the continuity of the integrative performance task.
The time consumed is 2 minutes and 22 seconds.
Hello, I am Isaac and I am the whip of the opposition side. So I strongly agree to what my group mates has stated. IPT is created to ease the life of the students. I beg to differ to what you stated. As a students ourselves, we are experiencing hardships. To take note that not all teachers are considerate about giving tasks to students. IPT is to lessen the works of the students and the teachers, not to make it worse. Yes, I stated some. So there is still some teachers who are good. But the issue here is that the students as well are not the same at all. Some students are just attending meetings just for the presence. Some subjects are not connected. It's not applicable to all subjects. According to a math teacher, it cannot meet the target of IPT at all, which is to lessen the amount of works. Students always communicate to each other even on a regular day because they're social media. Having hardships in doing tasks is not fun. And you also stated that it can give opportunities to leaders and it can practice them about their leadership skills. Being a leader requires cooperative members. Having disappointing members can make the leader feel that he or she is not doing well, which can make the situation worse. Challenging yourself can be good, but if you failed, you'll feel disappointed. If the group mates are uncooperative, then the negotiation will not happen. You also said a contradicting thing, which is you agreed that IPT is hard. You also stated that leaders can work hard. It can help them improve their leadership skills. Do you think leaders can work if the activity is hard? It cannot practice being a leader if it's having a hard time. Showcasing talent. Showcasing talent must be easy. But as you stated, it is hard, making them afraid. Not all students are confident. And you also stated that the variety of ideas can be showcased when it's like a group activity. How can you be sure that everyone can give ideas? They are scared to the teacher since the teachers are already having a hard time. If you're saying that the leader must report it to the teacher if the group mates are uncooperative. He also said that the more the merrier. And if there's a will, there's a way. If you want to do something, there's a way. But how can you be sure that the students has the will? They are willing to do the activity. How can you be sure that they want to do the IPT if they're really having a hard time? So to summarize it up, we disagree to the continuity of the integrative performance task. I am Isaac and I'm the whip of the opposition side.
The time consumed is 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Having the IPT implementation can be a really good activity for us to have time to interact with our fellow classmates, and it makes us more creative with our ideas too. It helps us to minimize our schoolwork and to lessen the burden we are experiencing right now. In conclusion, the IPT implementation helps us to make our life easier. On the other hand, having the IPT implementation makes the students' life complicated since some of the teachers are not clear with their instructions. And not only students, but teachers also have a hard time in checking the requirements. It challenges the students, but can also lead them to being stressed. To sum it up, having the IPT implementation can make the students' life harder.